Hello, everybody. It is Friday, the 18th of November. Right. I was listening to Jonathan Cahn yesterday, and apparently he brought out a new book, The Return of the Gods. Now, Jonathan Cahn is somebody who had been on my radar a while ago, and I kind of lost him. So I've just found him again. And what's going on is scary. And I was also listening to Jeffrey Daugherty going on about that book. And I really wish we would stop talking like something that's just crawled out of the Middle Ages. Because we understand more than that. It just needs to be brought to awareness what this knowledge actually is, what it is we understand, and we need to take it out of the picture book of gods. There are no gods as such. You know, they're not people sitting on clouds throwing thunderbolts or God knows what. It doesn't exist. It was a picture they have created to explain forces of nature, the kingdom without, and forces that are within ourselves. Now, what Jonathan Cahn says, and to an extent he is right, and he's talking about the story in the Bible where Jesus says, you know, you clean your house of one spirit, and then he comes back with a bunch of spirits worse than himself. What's happening at the moment is that the structure that was created by the church, this story, is falling apart, which leaves a vacuum of understanding what we are and what this is. And all manner of things are moving into that vacuum at the moment. Wokeism is one of them. It's filling the space. You know, there's no more God ruling over us, therefore we can do whatever we like. And we have the knowledge of technology, and in biology, you know, we can change our bodies, and we have all that knowledge, so we can now do whatever we like. And that is what is filling that vacuum at the moment, and that is lunacy. But what we really must understand is what these old teachings taught us. Now, I listened to Jeffrey Daugherty, and he said, you know, and he's talking about bringing back the old gods. You know, you're going from one confusion into the next. And saying that the old gods, they were not ruling over us, but that they interacted with us. Well, in a way, yeah, the Greek gods, for instance, they were amongst the people and they interacted with the people in that story. What happened? And let me explain this to you so that we can think about this from a different perspective and create a new story. Whether that is the fullness of the correct story, I don't know. As I said, we need to test drive these things to see what the outcome is that they produce. And again, don't write it in stone. If the outcome it produces is wrong, then rethink yourself. But right now, we need a different perspective because this is ending up in full-on destruction. So when we talk about the old gods and what people did is, from the earliest times, from the cave paintings, the old gods are the forces of nature. They are the wind, the thunder, the lightning, the rain, and also the spirit of the animals, the nature of the animals, the energy of the animals. And people started interacting with that. Their energies interacted with the energies of nature. which is working this on a spiritual level, on the level of energy and vibration of thought. Now, what the Judeo-Christian part of all of this did, especially the the Christian as well, because Jesus just added on to that a new knowledge of a new energy that was inside of us. So what they're looking at in that teaching is purely our own energies. Yeah, and therefore Daugherty going around about the androgynous God. Yeah, oh dear God, how bad can it get? You know, fiddly bits all over the place. No, it's not talking about that. It's not talking about, they likened that onto a male and a female energy. That's all. It's got nothing to do with the physical body. Our physical body is according to the rules of this world, which is nature, which for the most part, unless you're a snail, divides itself into male and female. But that is the system that has worked here. Spiritual is just likened on to a male or a female. That's all. It's got nothing to do with the physical form. So in Judeo-Christian, they are looking at that, just at us, at the kingdom within, and pretty much detached from the kingdom without, which was a mistake. Whereas the nature religions were on the way of where they still saw themselves as a part of everything. So they gained a knowledge of themselves whilst gaining a knowledge of what's outside. They kind of grew up together, the two knowledges. Whereas in Judeo-Christian, they're just looking at us. And looking at us with the idea from the beginning that that knowledge should be there because we should rule over nature. Yeah, that we should be the rulers, the kings of this place. And that is, again, what you say, it's spiritual wickedness. We are fighting against spiritual wickedness. The wickedness is not in the knowledge. It's not in the spiritual knowledge. It's not of, we're just starting to understand this on a different level. There's nothing wicked about that. Wickedness comes into being in the way that you use that knowledge. And they use that knowledge to rule over, yes. And that is wicked. So if you're fighting about, again, Jeffrey Daugherty is fighting a war against the knowledge. And that is wrong. You should fight a war against the knowledge. You should have the knowledge. In fact, what gave its knowledge to Jesus said, give it to all. The understanding should be in all. All should be raised to another level of understanding. Again, that's what's being prevented because that is what is giving them the advantage. And that is the wickedness. It's using the knowledge in the wrong way. It's not the knowledge itself. So if we could really understand what has happened, what it is we're talking about, and get out of the picture book and get out of the Middle Ages, and no, we're not going back to worshipping the old gods now because there's still no understanding in what it is we're doing. So yes, Jonathan Cahn is right in a way that he says that now the structure of the old God has fallen apart and left this vacuum. And yeah, apparently according to Jeffrey Daugherty, we are going the way of bringing the old gods back. Yeah? And we're going to be as dumb as we always were. Shall we kind of rise to a new level of understanding of what it is we're doing? And yes, that does include a knowledge of our own forces and how they interact with the forces of nature, or with this matrix altogether. Because that is what Jesus knew, and that is what he worked. But to use that knowledge not to rule over, but to learn how to become an integrated part of everything else without being destructive. I mean, we can use it for ourselves, obviously. And it should make our life easier, and it should make healing, we should be able to heal each other and stuff like that, and which is good. But to use it in a responsible way, and not the way of megalomaniacs. Anyway, I think I leave it at that for today. Again, if you think that my videos, that what I'm saying, that there is some truth in that, and that it should be a part of the conversation, because I really would like to raise this conversation to another level. I'm sick and tired of crawling around in the Middle Ages. We're going to be burning witches next. So then please share my videos. And if you want to help me, which would be very much appreciated, please donate to my channel. You will find the donate button at the top corner of my homepage. Anyway, I leave it at that, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.